Helping others is often seen as a sign of strength and kindness. But what if the help you offer isn't appreciated, or worse, is used against you? Not everyone deserves your time, energy, or effort. Some people will not only take your help for granted but also pull you into a cycle of negativity that harms both of you. Today, we'll uncover 7 types of people you should avoid helping, drawing inspiration from the timeless principles of Stoic philosophy. These teachings emphasize protecting your peace, setting boundaries, and acting with reason instead of emotion. As Seneca, the great Roman philosopher, said, associate with people who are likely to improve you. Welcome those whom you are capable of improving. This wisdom reminds us to be selective with our energy and focus on those who genuinely seek growth. In this video, you'll discover how to recognize these individuals, break free from toxic dynamics, and focus on meaningful relationships. And stay until the end, as we'll share a final insight that could transform how you approach relationships forever. Before we dive in, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more Stoic lessons that empower you to live a life of clarity, strength, and balance. The perpetual victim. The first type of person you should avoid helping is the perpetual victim. These are the individuals who see themselves as powerless in every situation. No matter what happens, they believe the world is out to get them, and they thrive on negativity. Their stories often revolve around how life has been unfair, and they never seem to move past their struggles. You might feel a natural urge to help them at first. After all, offering support is part of being compassionate. But over time, you'll realize that no matter how much you do, their situation never improves. Instead, you find yourself drawn into their endless cycle of complaints and self-pity. Stoic philosophy offers a powerful perspective on this. Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." The perpetual victim doesn't crave solutions, they crave attention, sympathy, and validation for their victimhood. They are stuck in a mindset where every problem is someone else's fault, and every solution is beyond their control. By repeatedly offering your help, you unintentionally enable their behavior. You reinforce their belief that they can only rely on others to fix their problems, instead of taking the responsibility themselves. This creates a toxic cycle, where your efforts are drained, and they remain stuck in their comfort zone of complaining. In Stoicism, the focus is on self-mastery and taking responsibility for one's own life. Epictetus reminds us, no man is free who is not master of himself. The perpetual victim, however, chooses to be enslaved by their negativity. They refuse to accept that their reactions, not external circumstances, determine their happiness. This refusal to take responsibility makes them resistant to change. Even if you give them practical advice, financial help, or emotional support, they rarely act on it. Instead, they find reasons why your solutions won't work or why their situation is uniquely hopeless. Imagine a coworker who constantly complains about how overworked they are. They talk about how unfair their boss is, how their colleagues don't pull their weight, and how they're always the ones left to pick up the slack. You decide to help by taking on some of their tasks or showing them ways to improve their workflow. But weeks later, you notice nothing has changed. They're still complaining, and now they expect you to step in and rescue them every time. Or think of a friend who constantly blames others for their failed relationships. You listen to their stories, offer advice, and even help them navigate difficult situations. But instead of reflecting on their role or making positive changes, they repeat the same patterns, expecting you to provide endless emotional support. Helping perpetual victims is emotionally exhausting. Their negativity can seep into your mindset, making you feel helpless and frustrated. Over time, you might even begin to question whether you're at fault for their inability to move forward. This is exactly the kind of emotional drain Stoic philosophy teaches us to avoid. To truly live in alignment with Stoic principles, you must practice discernment. Helping someone who refuses to help themselves is neither kind nor wise, it's enabling. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, a man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions. The perpetual victim's ambitions are often rooted in staying stuck, not in growing stronger. By stepping back, you aren't abandoning them, you're allowing them to confront their challenges. Sometimes, the best way to help is to stop helping, allowing them to experience the discomfort necessary for growth. Your energy and emotional well-being are finite resources. Use them wisely. Focus on helping those who seek change and growth, not those who remain anchored in self-pity. By doing so, you'll protect your peace and live a life guided by reason and virtue, the true hallmarks of Stoicism. The unappreciative. The second type of person to avoid helping is the unappreciative. These individuals take everything you offer without a second thought. Gratitude is absent from their vocabulary, and they make you feel as though your help is an obligation rather than a choice. At first, you might convince yourself that helping them is just the right thing to do. But over time, you start to notice a pattern: no matter how much effort you put in, they never say, "Thank you," or acknowledge your sacrifices. Worse, they may even criticize you for not doing more, leaving you feeling frustrated and undervalued. According to Stoic philosophy, gratitude is the foundation of virtuous relationships. As Seneca said, he who receives a benefit with gratitude repays the first installment on his debt. This doesn't mean relationships should be transactional, but there should be mutual respect and appreciation for the kindness exchanged. When dealing with the unappreciative, this balance is completely absent. They see your generosity as something they're entitled to, not as a gift. The result? A relationship that leaves you emotionally drained and disillusioned. Imagine a coworker who always turns to you for help, whether it's advice, covering their shifts, or assisting with difficult tasks. You go out of your way to support them, staying late to ensure they succeed. But instead of thanking you, they either act like it's no big deal or even find fault in your efforts. Or think of a family member who frequently borrows money or asks for favors. No matter how much you do for them, they never acknowledge your sacrifices. Instead, they keep coming back for more, as though your support is a given. This kind of relationship creates an emotional imbalance. You begin to feel unappreciated and even resentful, yet the cycle continues because the unappreciative person shows no intention of changing. Helping the unappreciative isn't just frustrating, it's harmful. It devalues your kindness, making you feel as though your efforts don't matter. And over time, it can lead to burnout. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When surrounded by people who don't value your contributions, your thoughts can spiral into negativity, eroding your sense of self-worth. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of boundaries and discernment. Just because you can help someone doesn't mean you should. Epictetus teaches us, if you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. In this context, it means being willing to step back and risk being misunderstood rather than continuing to enable someone who doesn't appreciate you. The Stoics believe that acts of kindness should come from a place of virtue, not obligation. When someone treats your generosity as a right rather than a privilege, it's time to reconsider where you invest your energy. The unappreciative person doesn't just drain your resources, they undermine your emotional well-being. Their lack of gratitude can make you question the value of helping others altogether. This is why Stoicism urges us to focus on those who truly value our efforts. Relationships should be a source of mutual growth and encouragement, not a one-sided drain on your energy. To break free from this dynamic, you must set clear boundaries. This doesn't mean cutting off all help, but rather being intentional about who you choose to assist. Helping someone who acknowledges and appreciates your efforts is fulfilling and reinforces positive behavior. Helping someone who doesn't, that only perpetuates a toxic pattern. Remember the wisdom of Seneca, who said, "The wise man does nothing for appearance, but everything for the sake of doing right." In this case, doing right means preserving your energy for those who genuinely value it. Walking away from the unappreciative isn't selfish, it's self-preservation. By stepping back, you allow them to realize the value of what they've taken for granted. More importantly, you protect your emotional energy and make space for relationships that uplift and inspire you. Your kindness is a gift. Don't let it be wasted on those who don't appreciate it. Instead, use it to create connections that are rooted in gratitude, respect, and mutual growth. That is the Stoic way to live a life of balance and peace. The lazy. The third type of person to avoid helping is the lazy. These individuals have no interest in making an effort to improve their lives. Instead, they prefer to rely on others to do the hard work for them. Whether it's at work, in relationships, or personal development, the lazy person avoids responsibility and chooses the path of least resistance. At first, their requests for help might seem harmless. You may even feel good about stepping in to assist. But over time, you'll notice a troubling pattern. No matter how much effort you put in to help them, they remain exactly where they started, refusing to take action or responsibility for their progress. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the value of effort and self-discipline. As Epictetus said, no great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a figure. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. The lazy person, however, doesn't want to put in the work to blossom or bear fruit. They want you to hand them the fig fully ripened. This mindset not only stagnates their growth but also wastes their time and energy, both of which are finite and precious. Think of a friend who constantly complains about their job but makes no effort to update their resume or look for new opportunities. You offer advice, help them brainstorm career options, and even connect them with people in your network. But weeks or months later, they're still stuck in the same cycle of complaining without taking any meaningful steps to change their situation. Or consider a family member who talks about wanting to get healthier but consistently avoids exercise or healthy eating. You buy them a gym membership, share meal plans, and encourage them every step of the way. Yet, they remain sedentary, always finding excuses for why they can't start today. Helping the lazy isn't just unproductive, it's counterproductive. It enables their inaction and prevents them from learning the value of effort and self-reliance. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. For the lazy person, the way is through confronting their own obstacles, not outsourcing them to others. When you continuously step in to help, you rob them of the opportunity to face challenges and grow stronger. Instead, they become dependent on you, creating a toxic dynamic where your efforts are taken for granted, and their laziness becomes more deeply ingrained. Stoicism teaches us to prioritize meaningful action. As Epictetus puts it, how long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself? This principle applies not just to your own life but to the way you choose to help others. If someone isn't willing to demand the best for themselves, your efforts will ultimately go to waste. The Stoics valued personal responsibility above all else. Helping someone who refuses to take responsibility for their own life goes against this principle. It's not an act of kindness, it's a misallocation of your energy. Dealing with lazy individuals can be incredibly frustrating. You pour your energy into supporting them, only to see no progress. Over time, this can lead to feelings of resentment, burnout, and even self-doubt as you question whether you're doing enough. But the truth is, the problem isn't with your efforts, it's with their refusal to act. To align with Stoic principles, you must recognize when helping someone is harming both them and yourself. Helping the lazy often falls into this category. Instead of enabling their inaction, take a step back and allow them to face the natural consequences of their choices. As Seneca wisely observed, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Your time is too valuable to be wasted on those who refuse to take action. By setting boundaries, you free yourself to focus on people who genuinely value your support and are willing to put in the effort to grow. Walking away from the lazy isn't cruel, it's necessary. It gives them the chance to confront their challenges and decide whether they want to change. More importantly, it allows you to invest your energy where it can make a real difference. Life is too short to carry the weight of someone else's laziness. Protect your peace, uphold your values, and focus on relationships that inspire action and growth. That is the Stoic way. The manipulator. The fourth type of person to avoid helping is the manipulator. These individuals are perhaps the most deceptive and emotionally draining of all. They don't openly ask for help or straightforwardly express their needs. Instead, they twist situations, play on your emotions, and exploit your sense of compassion to get what they want. At first, manipulators may appear harmless, even charming. They know how to make you feel important and needed. But over time, you'll start to notice their true intentions. They're not interested in mutual support or genuine relationships. Their goal is to control you, subtly pressuring you into doing things for them while giving little or nothing in return. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of maintaining control over your mind and actions. As Epictetus said, if someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. Manipulators thrive on this complicity. They aim to provoke guilt, obligation, or pity, making you feel as though you owe them something. But true Stoic wisdom teaches us to act from a place of reason, not emotion. Helping someone out of guilt or manipulation isn't true help, it's exploitation. When you allow a manipulator to dictate your actions, you surrender your autonomy and compromise your peace of mind. Think of a friend who always seems to need your support but rarely offers the same in return. They may say things like, "You're the only person I can count on," or, "If you don't help me, I don't know what I'll do." Their words are carefully chosen to make you feel responsible for their well-being. Or consider a colleague who constantly asks for your input on projects but never reciprocates. They might say, "You're so much better at this than I am," flattering you into doing their work. Over time, you realize they're using your skills to advance their agenda while you shoulder the burden. Helping manipulators isn't just unproductive, it's emotionally harmful. They drain your energy, undermine your confidence, and erode your sense of independence. Marcus Aurelius warned against letting others control your mind, saying, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Manipulators are skilled at creating a sense of dependency. They make you feel as though their well-being is tied to your actions, leaving you trapped in a cycle of giving. This dynamic isn't just exhausting, it's toxic. Stoicism teaches us to act with discernment and purpose. Helping someone should be a conscious choice based on virtue, not a reaction to pressure or guilt. As Seneca observed, a gift consists not in what is done or given but in the intention of the giver. If your intention is manipulated, the act ceases to be virtuous. By recognizing manipulative behavior, you can take back control of your actions. The Stoics believed in the importance of fairness and mutual respect in relationships. When these principles are absent, it's a sign that the relationship is unbalanced and potentially harmful. Manipulators are emotionally draining because they operate on a foundation of deceit. Their constant need for control can leave you feeling trapped, frustrated, and even resentful. Worse, they often make you question your judgment, convincing you that their needs are more important than your boundaries. To protect your peace and live in alignment with Stoic principles, you must learn to recognize and resist manipulation. This doesn't mean cutting ties with everyone who has manipulative tendencies, but it does mean setting firm boundaries and refusing to let guilt or pressure dictate your actions. As Epictetus teaches, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. Your response to manipulation should be rooted in reason and self-respect. By stepping back, you send a clear message that your kindness cannot be exploited. Walking away from a manipulator isn't selfish, it's necessary for your emotional well-being. It allows you to invest your energy in relationships that are genuine and balanced, rather than those built on control and exploitation. Your kindness is a precious resource. Protect it by being mindful of who you offer it to. Help those who value and respect your efforts, and let manipulators face the consequences of their actions. That is the Stoic way to preserve your peace and live a life of purpose. The chronic critic. The fifth type of person to avoid helping is the chronic critic. These individuals are perpetually dissatisfied and never miss an opportunity to find fault in others. Whether it's your work, your choices, or even your kindness, the chronic critic will always have something negative to say. Their criticism isn't constructive, it's designed to tear you down and feed your insecurities. Engaging with them, or worse, trying to help them, often feels like walking on eggshells. No matter how much effort you put in, it's never enough to satisfy them. Stoic philosophy reminds us to maintain control over our emotions and focus on what we can change. Marcus Aurelius said, "The tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say or think or do." Chronic critics, however, thrive on your need for validation. They use their negativity to keep you second-guessing yourself, eroding your confidence and peace of mind. The Stoics valued constructive criticism, feedback that helps you grow and improve. But the chronic critic's words are rarely aimed at improvement. Instead, their goal is to undermine your self-worth and shift the focus away from their shortcomings. Imagine a colleague who constantly critiques your work, no matter how much effort you put in. They nitpick minor details, dismiss your achievements, and never acknowledge your contributions. You might try harder to gain their approval, but it becomes clear that their dissatisfaction has more to do with their issues than with your performance. Or think of a family member who always finds fault in your choices. Whether it's the way you spend your time, the career path you've chosen, or even how you handle relationships, their criticisms are relentless. Even when you try to explain your reasoning, they dismiss it, leaving you feeling unheard and devalued. Helping chronic critics often backfires. Instead of fostering gratitude or understanding, your efforts are met with more negativity. Their constant disapproval can take a toll on your mental and emotional well-being, leaving you questioning your worth. As Epictetus observed, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Engaging with chronic critics often leads to a cycle of defensiveness and frustration. The more you try to win their approval, the more power you give them over your emotions. Stoicism teaches us to protect our peace by choosing carefully what we allow into our inner world. Chronic critics bring negativity that disrupts this peace. Instead of trying to appease them, the Stoics encourage us to focus on our growth and integrity. As Seneca wisely stated, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. When faced with a chronic critic, the best course of action is to rise above their negativity and refuse to let their words dictate your actions. Dealing with chronic critics is emotionally exhausting. Their relentless negativity can make you feel defensive, resentful, or even inadequate. Over time, this toxic dynamic can erode your confidence and create unnecessary stress in your life. To live in alignment with Stoic principles, you must learn to recognize when criticism is helpful and when it's harmful. Chronic critics rarely offer feedback to help. Their words are rooted in their insecurities and dissatisfaction, not in your growth. By stepping back from these individuals, you protect your emotional well-being and free yourself to focus on constructive relationships. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. Part of being a good person is knowing when to walk away from negativity that serves no purpose. Walking away from chronic critics isn't an act of weakness, it's a sign of strength. It shows that you value your peace of mind and refuse to let others dictate your self-worth. Instead, invest your time and energy in people who support and uplift you. Surround yourself with those who offer constructive feedback, celebrate your successes, and inspire you to grow. That is the Stoic way to build a life of tranquility and purpose. The opportunist. The sixth type of person to avoid helping is the opportunist. These individuals are cunning and calculated, always seeking to benefit from others without offering anything in return. Unlike other types, the opportunist often hides their true intentions behind a facade of friendliness or charm. At first, they might seem genuine, perhaps even supportive. But over time, their pattern becomes clear: they only show up when they need something and disappear when you're the one in need. Helping them doesn't foster mutual respect or connection, it enables their selfish behavior. Stoic philosophy places great emphasis on sincerity and integrity in relationships. As Epictetus said, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. Opportunists violate this principle by taking advantage of others' resources, kindness, and goodwill, all while giving nothing back. Stoicism teaches us that acts of kindness should stem from virtue and purpose, not from coercion or manipulation. Helping an opportunist lacks both. Instead, it enables their exploitative tendencies, allowing them to use others as stepping stones for their gain. Consider a coworker who suddenly becomes friendly when they need help with a project or assignment. They flatter you, play to your strengths, and convince you to take on their responsibilities. But when the tables turn, and you require their assistance, they're nowhere to be found. Or think of a friend who only reaches out when they need a favor. Whether it's borrowing money, asking for connections, or expecting you to solve their problems, they never reciprocate or even show gratitude. Their pattern of behavior reveals their true intent: to use you as a resource without offering anything in return. Helping opportunists isn't just exhausting, it's damaging to your sense of fairness and self-respect. Seneca reminds us, the greatest wealth is a poverty of desires. Opportunists, however, are driven by their endless desires, constantly seeking ways to take from others. When you help an opportunist, you reinforce their behavior, encouraging them to continue exploiting others. Over time, this dynamic can leave you feeling used, undervalued, and even resentful. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of fairness and mutual respect in all interactions. Marcus Aurelius said, "Do not act as if you had 10,000 years to live. Fate is hanging over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." Being good doesn't mean being a doormat. It means acting with reason and integrity, and that includes recognizing when someone's intentions are self-serving. Helping opportunists wastes your most valuable resources, time and energy. These resources could be better spent on people who genuinely need and appreciate your help, rather than those who exploit your kindness for personal gain. Opportunists are emotionally draining because they lack sincerity. Their actions make you feel as though your kindness has no value, reducing your efforts to mere transactions in their self-serving agenda. Over time, this can lead to feelings of frustration, betrayal, and even cynicism toward helping others. To align with Stoic principles, you must learn to recognize opportunists and set firm boundaries. This doesn't mean closing yourself off from others, but it does mean being discerning about who deserves your time and energy. Epictetus advises, know, first, who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. By understanding your values and priorities, you can better identify relationships that uplift you versus those that drain you. Walking away from an opportunist isn't selfish, it's an act of self-respect. It allows you to preserve your energy and invest it in people who reciprocate your kindness and contribute positively to your life. Remember, your kindness is a gift, not an obligation. Protect it by helping those who are sincere and grateful, not those who seek only to take advantage. By doing so, you'll create relationships that are rooted in mutual respect and integrity, the cornerstone of a life guided by Stoic wisdom. The envious. The final type of person to avoid helping is the envious. These individuals are consumed by jealousy and resentment, making them incapable of celebrating your success or appreciating your kindness. Instead of viewing your help as an act of goodwill, they interpret it as a reminder of their inadequacies. Envy is one of the most destructive emotions, both for the person who harbors it and for those around them. When you help someone envious, their resentment often grows stronger. Instead of gratitude, you may be met with subtle hostility or passive-aggressive behavior. Stoic philosophy teaches us to avoid toxic emotions like envy because they cloud judgment and disrupt inner peace. As Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Envious people, however, are trapped in negative thinking, constantly comparing themselves to others and feeling threatened by their success. When you help someone who harbors envy, you risk feeding this toxic mindset. They might accept your help outwardly but inwardly resent you for it. Their jealousy blinds them to your intentions and distorts their perception of your generosity. Think of a colleague who reacts to your achievements not with congratulations but with dismissive comments or subtle criticisms. They downplay your success and may even spread negativity about you behind your back. If you try to help them with their work or goals, they might accept your assistance but later undermine you, unable to handle the idea of being in your debt. Or consider a friend who struggles to be happy for you when things are going well. Whether it's a promotion, a new relationship, or personal growth, their responses are tinged with sarcasm or backhanded compliments. Even when you offer to help them achieve their success, they view it as a competition rather than a collaboration. Helping envious individuals can be emotionally draining and counterproductive. Instead of fostering connection, your efforts are often met with resistance or resentment. Seneca warns us, "You can tell the character of every man when you see how he gives and receives praise." Envious people struggle with both, making it nearly impossible for them to accept your help with an open heart. Their negativity can also begin to affect you, making you question your success or feel guilty about your achievements. This is why Stoicism encourages us to focus on those who uplift us, not those who bring us down. Stoicism teaches us to protect our inner peace by avoiding people and situations that disrupt it. Epictetus advises, when you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your failings. Then you will forget your anger. In the case of the envious, their resentment is a reflection of their insecurities, not of their actions. Helping envious people often backfires because their jealousy prevents them from fully appreciating your efforts. Instead of using your help to grow, they remain stuck in their toxic mindset, unable to move past their feelings of inadequacy. Interacting with envious individuals can be emotionally taxing. Their resentment creates tension, making you feel as though you're walking on eggshells. Over time, their negativity can seep into your thoughts, leaving you doubting yourself or feeling undeserving of your success. To align with Stoic principles, you must recognize when helping someone does more harm than good. Envious individuals are often unable to accept kindness without attaching negative motives to it. By stepping back, you protect your emotional energy and allow them to confront their feelings of inadequacy. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "It never ceases to amaze me, we all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Don't let the opinions or resentment of envious individuals dictate your actions. Instead, focus your efforts on people who appreciate and grow from your help. Surround yourself with those who celebrate your success and inspire you to achieve even greater things. Helping such individuals creates a positive cycle of mutual support and encouragement, aligning with the Stoic values of virtue and balance. Walking away from envious individuals isn't an act of rejection, it's an act of wisdom. By protecting your peace and investing in uplifting relationships, you create a life of purpose, clarity, and emotional freedom. That is the Stoic way to thrive in a world filled with complexity and challenges. In life, not everyone deserves your help. While offering kindness and support can be one of the most fulfilling things you do, Stoic philosophy teaches us that discernment is key. Each of the 7 types of people we've discussed, the perpetual victim, the unappreciative, the lazy, the manipulator, the chronic critic, the opportunist, and the envious, share one thing in common: helping them often does more harm than good. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When you surround yourself with negativity, manipulation, or ungratefulness, it's only a matter of time before it begins to affect your mindset. That's why setting boundaries isn't selfish, it's essential for protecting your emotional well-being and maintaining your inner peace. Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies in knowing when to step back. Helping someone who refuses to change or appreciate your efforts isn't an act of compassion, it's enabling. Enabling these behaviors doesn't just harm you, it also prevents them from confronting their challenges and growing stronger. As Seneca reminds us, associate with people who are likely to improve you. When you focus your time and energy on those who truly value your support, you create relationships that inspire growth, foster gratitude, and bring lasting fulfillment. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like it and subscribe to our channel for more insights inspired by Stoic philosophy. Let us know in the comments which of these 7 types you've encountered in your life and how you've handled them. Remember, your time, energy, and kindness are valuable resources. Use them wisely, and don't be afraid to protect your peace. Together, let's continue to explore the timeless wisdom of the Stoics and build a life of balance, clarity, and purpose. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.